观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎收看本期的黄金石油记者会，我是主持人张树，现在正在纽交所交易大厅为您带来本期的节目。在今天的节目当中，我们依然会为您带来来自美国芝加哥商品交易所的交易员前线的解答。好的，首先让我们来回顾一下本周黄金的一个市场波动。由于早些时候的一个经济数据不佳，我们看到美联储9月份加息的可能性是在减弱，而这也是推涨了黄金的一个上涨。但是随后由于市场对于黄金的一个上涨呢，并没有太多的信心，很多投资人是兑现了收益，因此黄金开始下跌。但总的来说，在宏观经济方面，我们是看到两个不利的因素。首先，第一就是美国非制造业的订单数是达到了2013年9月份以来的一个低位，而美国非制造业的采购经理人指数也是创下了51.4，比之前的预期要大幅的下挫了不少。而在周四的时候，黄金是试图上涨，而这主要是受到了欧洲央行维持当前历史低利率不变以及美元走弱的一些提振。好的，更多关于黄金的消息，不妨让我来一块儿连线一下现在美国芝加哥商品交易所的交易员，来听听他对黄金的看法。With the weaker than expected data, Fed is less likely to raise the rate at its September meeting. So how will gold price be affected? And what's your next trading level to watch?
Well, let's not be confused with what the Fed may or may not do. They were never going to raise before the election, number one. Number two, they probably won't raise for quite a while. The only raise will be a token raise because the Fed is clueless, along with the rest of the central banks around the globe that continue to pump in phony liquidity. The overall gold market looks to be fairly solid. I think you might have one more move to the downside, and at some point we're going to find a bottom. I think if we go to negative rates, and if the dollar continues to fail, then gold will spike higher. But I don't see that happening. I think gold will continue to work that range, and it's about 1,300 to 1,380. Maybe 1,320, and then we'll see. But I think there's one more rush down, probably to 1,260, before we actually find a bottom. But overall, if the dollar stays weak, then gold will continue to remain strong.
好的，下面再让我们来一块看一下石油在最近这一周的一个走势。在周一的时候，由于市场普遍期待，包括像俄罗斯以及沙特等石油的主要生产国能够达成协议来稳定油价，在周一的时候，原油是创下了一周的新高。但是随后在周二，这个协议出现了更多的不确定性，市场也是开始转而下跌。在周三的时候，由于受到美元走软的影响，原油小幅度的反弹。而在今天，我们看到原油是大幅度的反弹，这主要是由于上一周的美国原油储备是意外下跌了1450万桶之多，而此前的预计是小幅上涨22万左右。好的，更多消息让我们来连线一下交易员，看一下他当前对于包括布伦特原油的一些看法。As Saudi minister play down on the prospect of imminent action, how will Brent be affected by this expectation, and what's the next key level to watch?
You know, I think we look for, the $40 level. I think that we get too involved in the overall news and the effect, and we forget that there's an overabundance of supply, especially with the U.S. and WTI really not using much anymore and creating their own supply. I think we're far too involved in what's going on. We forget about what the fundamental picture looks like, that we should see some lower prices, and eventually we'll find some support, and we will see a rally from that point. I think we get too involved in the outside noise that really has no direct effect other than maybe a little bit of fear on the overall commodity.
U.S. oil has been stuck in the current level for a while. So what's your trading strategy about U.S. oil?
I think I want to see U.S. oil go down to 40, and I want to buy it at 40. I think it's pretty clearly defined. 40 to 50 is the range, and I think that you're going to see, as we get down to 40, we'll see the rigs get slowed down. They'll try to cut down on production, and we'll see supply drop. The price going back to 50. They'll come back online. I think it's 40 to 50 until proven otherwise. I think I don't think we go much lower than 40, but I think if we get news, we can go higher than 50.
好的，以上就是本期的黄金石油记者会，我是主持人张舒，我们下期再见。